You're listening to the Awks Talk
Podcast.
Welcome to the Awks Talk with your hosts,
Channel.
Melissa.
and Jessica.
Yay.
We're back. It's been a while. Sorry we missed last week's, but at least this week you'll get like one after the other. And this will kind of be like, I guess, happy Halloween. Halloween weekend. Yeah.
We got the
I know
purple
we
vibes
tried to
going.
do like purple and some candles. We don't have any pumpkins yet. Sorry.
Ambiance.
And today we're gonna be doing some crime stuff.
Yeah. All right. Should we
So
just
hard, I can't even
start?
see you now.
Hello?
We got a crime story from El Salvador.
Yes. So, I will preface this with a disclaimer. All of the links to like the actual articles will be in the show notes and like in the YouTube video description box. And most things are in quotation marks, right? So I'm not plagiarizing, guys. I'm reading it as it is with quotation marks. Okay. So El Salvador is like basically known for its crime. That's so sad. So my parents are from El Salvador, for like the people who like don't actually know me and my background. But yeah, my parents are from El Salvador. Basically all my family is back there, except for like some like cousins in like the States, and I do have like some aunt and uncle and some cousins in Alberta, which I went to visit when I was in grade 9 or something like that, or the year before grade 9. Hella cold, I must say.
Yeah, I hear.
So did you guys know that El Salvador is actually known as the murder capital of the world?
Nope.
The more you know. This is like not a good fact that I should be promoting.
Well,
But it's true, unfortunately. This is honestly because of the gangs. There's a huge amount of organized crime. And so I'm going to give, like, before we get into our true crime story, I'm going to give, like, a little background info about El Salvador's crime. Yes. All right. So basically, according to a report from the Human Rights Watch in 2020, there are approximately 60,000 gang members operating in El Salvador.
Like
And
60,000 gangs or like
gang
just members? Or
members.
just members.
which is a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, El Salvador.
I was like, what's the population?
What's the population? Yeah.
I mean, I didn't research that.
Fine, I'll say
should we
600,001.
What?
600,000?
No, that doesn't make
Why?
sense.
I said 60,000.
60,000.
Oh.
Not everyone's a gang member. Child, please. I'm not. My family's not.
You're like, murder capital of the world.
It is, though. I'll explain why in a second. El Salvador is basically a very tiny country, but we do have a lot of people crammed into that tiny country.
Yeah. It's kind of like Bangladesh. Bangladesh is like that too. There's like
What?
3 billion people
Is this right?
in Bangladesh.
6.486 million? That doesn't make any sense. Is
Well,
that
yeah.
real? Is that real? That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
How many people are
Well,
in that?
Bangladesh is like smaller, and there's actually not billion, but there's like a couple.
Well, I
hundred
mean,
million.
think about it. There's like 7 billion.
Well, that was for 2020.
Yeah, if you like
That's crazy.
look, okay, compare it to Canada, and it'll make more sense.
What's our population?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you to look.
Fine.
No,
Wow.
Canada's population doesn't make sense because we're such a big country, but we're
Yeah.
we're underpopulated.
I know.
Interesting.
That's true. We do have a lot of like space.
Yeah.
There's a lot of land that's
It's a lot
not
of wilderness in Canada.
occupied. I mean, that's good. Let nature survive. Let nature breathe instead of being like cutting down the trees and shit.
By the way, I just want to say in the beginning of the episode, if you're like the video, subscribe.
What? This is the time you choose to.
Yeah, because you know what? Is the thing is, it's like from the data or whatever, nobody makes it to the end. Okay, so and we
Sad
always
times.
and we
sad.
always say, hey, like and subscribe at the end. You know, we gotta say it at the
I guess
beginning.
Wait,
fine, fair.
you people
fair.
watching who are supposed to be our friends, why aren't you making it to the end? Yo, that rhymed.
At least like put it on the background. Give us the full view. Jeez. Put it on mute.
So
Come
bitter.
on. Anyways,
We appreciate y'all.
yes, we do.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of our fault too, bad content, whatever.
Okay.
Chill.
Anyways, 38.01 million in Canada.
So there you go. See?
So fine.
Right. So yeah, 6 million roughly. That's the population in El Salvador, and 60,000 are gang members. And then obviously, like, the gangs operate outside of El Salvador as well. Some of you actually may know this already. But anyways, just to read a quote from the Human Rights Watch, gangs exercise territorial control over neighborhoods and extort residents throughout the country. They forcibly recruit children and sexually abuse women, girls, and lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people. Gangs kill, disappear, rape, or displace those who resist. Actually, my cousin, who lives there, he actually told my mom, or like one of the family members told my mom, that my cousin lives like basically near the police station, and also there's a very strong gang presence in that area, and basically they threatened my cousin and was like, yo, you need to get out of here because you're too close to the police station and you might snitch. And he's like, yo, I'll just like go move with my family, and they're like, nah, you gotta leave the state or whatever, and he had to go. I was like, yo, that's so scary.
Yeah.
No, but horrible. So there are many well-known gangs in El Salvador, and they're basically, in Spanish, they're called maras, which is very colloquial Spanish. And you guys might know MS-13. You guys heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It is very well known, guys. And there's also 18th Street, which is commonly referred to simply as La 18 or La 18 in Central America. So that's the name. There's other names that it goes by depending on where you're from. And those two gangs are rivals. And there's many people that join gangs for a variety of reasons. Right, guys? Like, there's like teenagers that only see that and they're like, okay, so this is my life now.
Like the drug is a thing, like drugs and stuff, but like easy money is also like a drug too.
Mostly it.
It's like when the money just you can just take a package and bring it over here and make enough money to last you for like the entire week. Then it's like it's addicting.
Yeah, so definitely economic opportunities, social status. Like, if you're a gang, like, if you're in a gang, you're like, whoa, top dog.
Untouchable, basically.
Yeah. There's also, like, the violent environment, like family issues, and things like that make people want to go into the gang. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background to the history of, like, the government and the gang relationship. So in March 2012, two of El Salvador's largest gangs, which is, like I said, MS-13 and Barrio 18, which is known as 18th Street in English, they established a truce, which I was like, I kind of knew this already, but not so much in detail. So I was like, oh, a truce between gangs. I mean, based on all the novellas and things like that, like if there are gang members and things like that, a truce doesn't end well and doesn't last very long. But it was basically established in a collaborative effort with the government as well, basically to attempt to reduce the amount of gang-related deaths and crime. I don't know, what do you guys think? You think that was a good move? Like,
general,
for the government to make a truce with the gangs. It's very controversial, so I want to hear your opinions.
I don't know. It's like if we're talking about, like, it depends on like how much power the gangs actually have, right? If these gangs have like a lot of power, like politically and like just on the streets and stuff, then what's the government? It's kind of like, what's the government to do? Do they really have a choice in this matter to make a truce? Because like I know there are some countries where it's like the gangs literally run like the whole country, you know, and it's like the government really has no power. They're just kind of there for show, you know. So it depends on, I don't know, but yeah.
And the fact that the government like is making a truce with gangs to me
Just
that's
proves,
true, yeah.
shows like
How much power they
how
have.
much power that the government doesn't have.
Yeah.
So that's why like this truce received so much criticism because it's basically like showing the gangs that they are the
Legitimate
authority.
now, yeah.
Right? They are the authority.
Well,
They're the ones that rule.
Well, who's actually like throwing shade? Like who's actually like criticizing it? Like other
Everyone.
countries?
Like people who live in El Salvador.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Because if you're in another country and you're judging this country for doing this, then you know why didn't your country do anything to help, kind of thing. You know, it's kind of like
No, we're not like
No,
trying to
but-
get involved. We're
No,
just saying as
like-
a person, your opinion is like,
Yeah, like
you know, you don't want the government to be associating with gangs. Like,
no, but it's
Yeah.
not even that.
Shouldn't
If the gangs have so much power where they can like easily just kill a cop and all his family whenever they want, it's like what kind of power do they really have? You know, they don't. If like the, you know, whatever is it presidents there and stuff, or how does it politically work? Yeah, okay.
President.
So yeah, so if the president is basically under the thumb of gang members, you know, then, you know, that's a lot of power that the gangs would have, right? So you got to keep yourself safe too, you know. I don't know. Hey man, sometimes these gang members, they're just doing bad stuff and it seems bad, but you know, it could be good for the country too. You never know.
anyways, I think you
Tell that to the thousands of innocent people who have died. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
I am so against just like gang members and
Yeah.
the government just like wielding no power and just they're like, here's our power. Of course you have to take. Of course it's yours. Oh my gosh, we were so wrong to try to like fight you guys. Like that's what it sounds like. It's like the government's like, yo, we can't deal with this.
Well, yeah, I would say it more sounds like they're giving up more
Yeah,
than
that's why it's
surrendering
like-
power. I think it's just
Is that
okay.
the same? That's basically the same.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Fine. Yeah, you're right. That
it's
is
the if you can't beat him, join him attitude.
Yeah, that too.
So
I don't know. I mean, like once like
I mean, the thing is, it's like if joining power, like if the government and the gangs joining together stops violence on the streets and like helps the government progress, then I think it's a good thing. But it's like, yeah, obviously you don't want gang members in charge, but yeah, I don't know.
it's never good because they don't want.
Well, I mean, if
the-
it stops the killing, then yes, it's good. Right? If the gang members are like causing a truce and allowed to illegally, whatever, like export whatever they want, then they're given more freedom. Then there's no reason for them to like kill people, right? Innocent people that are dying. I don't know. I'm trying to look at the bright side of this, which I know it's bad, but everything has an angle, right?
yeah, but
Yeah.
for the most part, you shouldn't be like
Yeah, of course. No, I agree with Melissa completely. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate a
Fine.
little bit. Sorry if I'm making you
Okay.
angry.
I'm always angry when
Yeah.
it comes to this topic. So let me give you guys some facts about like what happened with this truce. So the number of deaths did decrease for a short period of time. In January 2012, there were 411 killings, but in March there were 188 killings. So much less. However, this truce collapsed, of course.
Yeah.
And by March 2015, which was 3 years later, it went back right up to 481 people being killed.
And how much was it before?
So in March 2012, it was 188. It went down from 411
Okay, and then
a
it
few
went back
months
up.
before.
Yeah, okay.
And then 3 years later, it went back up to
Yeah.
481.
Yeah, these kind of deals can also backfire too, like majorly, you know? Because now if you give these gang members power, they're not going to give it back, obviously, right? They're going to keep it. So it's like you're surrendering shit, and if it goes wrong like it did, then yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, then what the government did, because there was like a new government, whatever.
Yeah.
They launched this crackdown to like arrest the public officials and members of the previous government who basically enforced this truce.
Yeah.
And this is.
Was it in suspicion of like working with the gang members?
I mean, they were. It was the truth.
So there's no suspicion.
No. I mean, like, no. But you can be innocent, but still like go ahead with this. But I mean, like was it coercion? Well, no, not coercion.
No, the government basically made a truce. It was a collaboration. So they were like, "Hey, we don't want these murders to happen. So like we'll make a truce with you guys." And the two rival gang members also made a truce with each other.
Yeah.
And it was basically, for them, it was like, if they have a truce and the government is in on it and whatever, they're not going to kill. Mm-hmm. Right? But there's so much criticism, and I think that was just the wrong thing to do, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because that just shows like the lack of power that the government has. It's just basically letting them do whatever they want, and there's no consequence. Right? Yeah. So the new government was like, nah, this is not gonna fly. So they basically cracked down on the people who like thought of this idea.
Oh, I see.
Right? Because that was like stupid, I guess, for lack of a better word. And this period of time is actually known as La Mano Dura, or the Iron Fist. So basically they're just like really tough on the public officials and whatnot.
Okay.
So that's just like background. So that's just to let you know about how El Salvador's crime rate is going. So we're going to talk about a serial killer today.
Yay.
Not
Not
yay.
really yay.
Not yay. But like yay.
Crime, but not.
Yay to know about something. It's actually really recent.
Oh.
So I actually want to do like more about El Salvador, like crime stories. Mm-hmm. But maybe I'll try to find a crime story about like in the past. Okay. All right, so we're going to be talking about a serial killer, and they actually were discovered and arrested recently, and his victims were women. So we must note something about El Salvador and women's their relationship. It's not good, just to put it bluntly. The treatment of women is very subpar, to say the least. Abortions are illegal. And they are illegal in some countries, right? In fact, you know, there's some states in the U.S. you would think this wouldn't happen in a developed country, but here we are, you know. That actually includes stillbirths and miscarriages are illegal.
Mm.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, there's a lot of Muslim countries that are like that.
They're gonna lock you up if you had a miscarriage?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, basically.
So it's ridiculous. I don't know why. It's because like the woman didn't want her child to be born dead, which is a stillbirth, right? Or miscarry the child. But they think it's just abortion. But we must note that Latinos in general are very religious. So this comes from that.
Yeah.
And just their treatment of women. Their idea of what women are supposed to be. That actually like makes this abortion thing happen. Right? Because if their idea of what women are supposed to be was different, then there wouldn't be these laws, right, that discriminate against women.
Yeah.
And punish women for no reason. So, do you want to guess the punishment for having an abortion or stillbirth or miscarriage?
Man, this is really Awks talk, yo. I don't even want to hear. This is like making me upset right now. Like.
Well, it's supposed to make you upset.
Yeah. Okay, what is it? Hit me with the facts.
Okay, the jail time could be from 2 years up to 50 years.
Mm.
Crazy. And any family members who support their relative in getting an abortion can also face jail time, 2 to 5 years.
Mm.
I actually there are famous cases in El Salvador of women that obviously have fought their jail sentence because they've had miscarriages and they still got put in jail for no reason. It's ridiculous. So I do want to talk about that in the future. I'm talking about this because I want you guys to think about how women are treated and the serial killer who only targeted women.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's
Well,
related.
Yeah, well, I mean, like in these type of countries where women are treated like this, it's very easy to target women, right? I know, like, I don't know if it's specifically Bangladesh, but I know a lot of Muslim countries where it's like, if a man rapes a woman, sorry, and the woman actually gets shamed and beaten on the street for giving it up, for being raped by the dude. Like, what? How? Does that even make any sense? Yeah, it's
I don't know.
a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, we can talk about that in a future episode.
Yeah.
As well. But, anyways, we're gonna talk about Hugo. Or, sorry, I'm gonna say it in Spanish. I just said it in English. Hugo, which I hate. This. Honestly, Spanish names, just to put like a lighter note, Spanish names do not sound good in English.
Yeah.
Like, Hugo is how you pronounce it, but in English it's Hugo, which is so gross. Anyways,
Wait,
Hugo,
what is it? Ugo?
Hugo.
Ugo.
Yeah.
How do you say? Okay, how do you
Because
say
like
Juan?
H is silent, basically.
How do you say like in English is like Juan?
Juan.
Juan.
Juan. Yeah.
Juan.
Yeah.
No, I have a friend. His name is Juan. That's why. We just
Yeah.
call him.
I don't know how you can't like the J is very like it sounds like an H in Spanish, right? So names that are like in a J, like the English pronunciation they can't really change it to English, right?
Yeah.
Because the J is so different.
Yeah. Well,
But
I mean,
they
it's
could
kinda
say
like,
they could say like Juan.
that's kind of like jalapenos too, you know.
Yeah. Jalapeno.
Everyone say
Wait,
it your own way. It's like,
jalapeno.
No, that's definitely not it.
You know, some people
Yeah, some people say.
people say that
Yo,
because
I
they-
worked at a grocery store where someone's like, "Yo, you know where the jalapenos are?" I'm like, they're over there,
So
over there."
At least try. At least
Well, no.
try
What are
to
they
say
gonna
it.
do
They don't
if you
know.
never look? If you look at a recipe for the first time and you're not
Fine.
Spanish and you
Fine.
don't know, you just see the word jalapeno. You don't know that it's pronounced jalapeno, right?
They have okay. So in Spanish, we have
Yeah.
a separate letter,
Yeah.
which is the ñ. Ñ.
What does
So
it
it's
look
the
like?
N with the curvy
Squiggly thing.
accent
Oh, I
mark
see.
at the top,
Okay. And that's
which is
the H.
I just said N. Jalapeno,
Yeah.
right? Ño.
Oh, the N is different too.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's a different letter,
Oh, I see.
right? So we have the N, and then we have the ñ.
Hmm.
So the N with the squiggly line at the top, or tilde, right?
Yeah.
That's ñ. That is what makes us pronounce the word jalapeno.
Oh, I see.
So some recipe books don't
Spanish
put...
101 with Melissa.
I know.
We should make that a segment, a corner.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Anyway,
And-
some
and-
recipe books don't put the
little
squiggly
squiggly
line,
yeah.
right? So people don't know that's pronounced. Or even if they do, they're like, what's that?
Yeah.
It's an N, so I'm just going to pronounce it the English way.
Yeah.
Yes. But anyways, we're going to talk about this dude, Hugo Ernesto Osorio Chavez. Which the last name Chavez also has a very interesting background that we could talk about in a future episode. So 51, at the time of the articles being released. So he's an ex-cop, which makes this even worse.
Oh, that's not good. Yeah.
All right, so he's an ex-cop turned gangster, according to the news sources, according to all the articles. So this happened in a state called Chalchuapa, which is in the northwest of San Salvador, or in Spanish pronunciation, San Salvador, which is the capital city. So it's northwest of that. And he is believed to have killed at least 40 people, most of them women. So, sad times. So police believe that sexual violence is behind the murders, as they found evidence of sexual assault while they were examining the bodies. So this makes my blood boil even more. So this actually makes sense. This theory that he murdered these women because of like a sexual reason. It makes sense if you look at his past. So in his past, he was actually removed from the police ranks 15 years ago after he was convicted of raping a woman and a minor, and he was sentenced to 5 years in jail, which is not enough, obviously.
And that's a for life thing, man.
Yeah, of course, but here we are. But even before his arrest of that crime, the police were actually like suspicious of him. They thought he was in a gang already.
It's crazy how they think like he's more likely to be in a gang than a rapist, whatever.
I don't know.
Anyways.
However, many people in El Salvador actually say like this is obviously connected to a larger problem, which is why I mentioned like El Salvador's treatment of women in general.
Yeah.
We have a very bad problem of femicide in the country, which is basically, it's homicide, but only directed at women. So it's called femicide. Some countries have like huge like percentages, right, of like femicide happening.
Yeah.
And El Salvador is one of the most dangerous places to be if you are a woman, to be honest. Here's a fact. In 2020 alone, 541 Salvadoran women disappeared and 70 women were recorded to be killed in gender-based attacks. That's a lot.
Yeah.
In 1 year alone. That's crazy. All right, so how did he get caught? He was caught when the neighbors heard a scream and they called the police. Otherwise, the police wouldn't have known. So once the police came, they found the bodies of Mirna Cruz Lima and Jacqueline and Alexis Palomo Lima. So those are the names of the people who were murdered at that period of time. So, basically, so according to an article, Alexis was a fourth-year medical student and was planning to travel to the United States to look for work and buy a house for his family back in El Salvador. And the family raised $7,000 for the trip by mortgaging De La Cruz's house and contacted Osorio's brother. So Osorio is the serial killer, so it goes by his last name. Who allegedly worked as a human smuggler. So you guys must know that Central America and South America, people want to go to the States, and they do so in an illegal way. So they hire, they're called coyotes in Spanish. So human smugglers, and they will walk to like the border and then like leave them there, and then the border patrol like finds them and takes them to like a hospital if they need to, or like another place. Anyways, nothing went according to plan, unfortunately. So after the family delivered the money, Osorio arrived at the store where Mirna and Jacqueline worked, saying that Alexis had been kidnapped, but that he knew where he was being held, and he wouldn't say who actually gave him this information. So already sketchy as fuck. So the two women got into his car because obviously they're just like, our family member has been abducted, so we need to like go to him and whatever. So they traveled to his house, and his house is in that state which I mentioned, Chalchuapa, some, let's say, 50 miles from the capital city, right? And once, this is according to the police and some leaked information. So apparently some of the documents, like once he was like arrested and things like that, were leaked to like the media and things like that. So that's why we know certain things that he said to the police. So apparently, according to him, they went into the house, and I'm pretty sure that Alexis was still alive at that point. But once he got the two women in the house, he murdered Alexis and Myrna, and Jacqueline escaped and ran down the street screaming, and that's what triggered the neighbors to call the police. However, he did capture her again. Like, he was very quick and dragged her back inside and then killed her.
It's the worst.
Yeah, I know, when you so close to like being free.
Man.
So the police get there and they discover those bodies. On May 7th, they discovered a mass grave. So that is horrible to think that he was living there with like bodies all around him. So there was as many as 7 pits with bodies that may have been buried since 2019. And this is like the saddest part that like made me so sad. There were children. So there were at least 3 children, aged 2, 7, and 9.
2?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I know. That makes me so upset. Like, they're innocent creatures. Like, I mean, all of them were innocent, but like, children, come on. Like, let them live their lives. So they say that he basically lured the women by promising them a chance to work in Mexico. Because in Mexico, obviously, there are more opportunities than in the smaller Central American countries. Even I have, like, my cousin who's working in Mexico, and then he sends money back home. So, like, I get that. So Mexico and the U.S. are very, like, hot places to, like, go get a job. So they think that the children were obviously children of the women that he lured. Apparently, 9 other suspects were also arrested in connection to the murders. And this is the most sick part, that they're also former police and military officials. Corruption everywhere. Like, so obviously the public has, like, they mistrust the government and the police even more, knowing that the perpetrators of this crime or these crimes were former police and military, the people who are supposed to protect the citizens. Anyways, so the documents that were leaked, they gave information about the way he killed. So he said that he preferred to kill by gun, like shooting them. And he collected mementos, so identity cards, earrings, lipsticks. And like I said, most of the victims were women. And this is very sick. He liked to have, he basically raped the dead bodies. Yeah. There's a name for this.
Necrophilia.
Is it?
Necrophilia, yeah.
Gross. And then, but here's the thing, that the article did mention that the killings may not have been, like, from 2019. Because they, like, found bodies that they believed were buried from 2019.
Okay.
But they say that the killing spree could span actually more than a decade. It's like 10 years of this guy killing. And obviously there's at least like 40 victims. Like I mentioned earlier.
Wait, how old is he?
51 at the time of his arrest.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. It couldn't have just been... I imagine if you have, like, pits or whatever, you're not going to just have it from, like, 1 year. I mean, you could have it from 1 year or whatever, but, yeah. There's always, like, a pattern or something, so.
Yeah, I can't believe that he was only killing for 2 years or 3 years. Like, there's no way. Especially if they found 7 pits. Like,
So they're all
Mhm.
just around his house?
Yeah, they found it in his like backyard or whatever.
Like, how do you even like dig 7 holes and not see it? You know, as like people around the area, or even like the girl that was running on the street. Like, no one said anything. Like
Well, they heard
that's how he got caught, though, right?
Well, like no one was like, I guess no one was outside maybe, but they did hear the screams, so they called the police. But I do want to say it's not like in El Salvador the houses are different from like the typical or stereotypical like Canadian or American house, where like you have like your backyard and you have like a fence but you could see your neighbor's backyard. In El Salvador the houses are different. Like I remember my great aunt's house when I was like visiting way back when. And basically, you go into her house, and her backyard was like surrounded by tall ass walls. And so out in her backyard was amazing. I wonder if it's like still like that. I mean, she dead now, like rest in peace. But like her like family's like still there. It was like a lush tropical forest in her backyard, and it was just like tall ass walls, like you could not see like where you were. And that's
I
like
guess
most houses are structured.
Thinking about it in Bangladesh, just like that too, where it's like they don't just have fences; they have walls all around the property. It's like a gated like house. Each house is like gated. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, never mind. I take that back.
Do you have like family and stuff?
This guy?
Yeah, to like live with people or anything like that?
I'm not sure.
Imagine
The articles that I read did not mention that if he was living with someone. I'm gonna assume no.
Yeah.
It doesn't even say if he has like a wife or children. I probably like he probably was married. Maybe he got divorced. I don't know.
Maybe.
And then started
Speculation.
his spree. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just like reminded of like Criminal Minds.
I miss Criminal Minds. Watch it,
Great.
people. It's over now, but
Great
yeah,
show.
yeah, good show.
I'm pretty sure it's
Is that
over.
the one with the tattoos?
Yeah. What tattoos? No, that's Blind Spot.
Oh, okay.
I
Anyways,
watch a lot of crime shows.
so I used to watch Criminal Minds like back in the day when it was like the OG crew, and then it changed. And then, but I stopped watching it anyways. But you know how like they always like talked about like a trigger or something like that. So maybe something triggered this guy. Who knows?
Yeah.
Did he go to prison for life?
Well, the articles that I found were not like super recent, so I'm not sure. I'm gonna.
You don't know what
assume-
his trial was at all?
No, well, this was in May,
Oh.
so I'm assuming, you know, if the trial did happen, then I just didn't see articles for that. I'm gonna say no because I feel like that would have been in the article.
I see.
Or like a newer article would have been written about the trial.
Yeah.
It's
But
like-
I mean, like, if it's in his backyard and hopefully he's
Yeah, there's too
convicted
much
for
evidence
reals.
against
Yeah,
him,
like,
but- man, there's like, it's like, I feel like lawyers and stuff, because we were watching a show, and had like some lawyers in them, but it's like, it's the idea of like, even if you know someone's bad, like you have to defend them. It's like,
yeah,
as lawyers, it's like sucks.
it's hard.
Yeah, like how do you even defend a guy like this, who's like, basically all the evidence is stacked against him, and it's like a child, like, killer and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's like, but this man's terrible. Hope he goes away for life.
Yeah, and hopefully this like sparks a conversation about femicide in the country as well. There have been protests and things like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, can guarantee it's probably not just El Salvador. Like a lot
Oh,
of
for sure not.
a lot of third world countries are like that too. So it's like, well, you know, like you think it's unfair here how women are treated. It's like a billion times
Of
worse in those
course.
countries. You know, like, I mean, both sides, but still, like women have it way worse in third world countries. But yeah, because I mean, it's like for most, like I mean, even like if we're going a little bit biblical or whatever, like even in the Bible and the Quran, you know, women are even religiously told that they're what spawned from men, or like second class to men, basically, like, so it's like it all, derives from there. Like, that's like the beginning seed that gets planted, right? And then you just take that idea and run with it. So,
Yeah. This sparks a conversation. And let's hope that in El Salvador, as well as in other countries of the world, there is more talk about elevating women's human rights.
Yeah, for sure.
I know. So that's it, guys. That's our that's our sad true crime story. I wish there was more research. I'm sure there was if I digged a little bit more.
Yeah, because
I have
there's
a
got to
job,
be.
so I was busy as well.
Yeah, because there's got to be like obviously a past or something, maybe some trauma, whatever he went through, or something that sparked it.
Nah, man, the moment.
But I mean, like, if
the moment I hear a child was murdered, I don't give a shit no more. It's like, you're done as a human being to me.
I'm gonna understand.
Oh yeah, well, no, yeah. We're not saying
No
condone
wonder,
your
yeah.
child. We're just saying like some people have triggers. That doesn't make it right or wrong.
I don't care what your triggers are.
We're not saying that, child. I'm just saying there must have been a trigger.
Yeah.
All right, unless he was killing from like a young age and
Yeah,
nobody knows
that's
about
fine.
it. Some people are like have problems and then there's something that pushes them over the edge.
Yeah. Well, there's been studies done on sociopaths, right? And it's and there's like signs and tells growing up. Like people actually can be clinically diagnosed as a sociopath, because I think it has something to do with your genes or something. But it's like they just deal with it and nothing really kind of triggers it, right? It's like, yeah, that'd be kind of cool to talk to someone who's a sociopath.
Is a sociopath different than a psychopath though?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. But yeah.
No.
Dead air. Okay.
This is why we're called the Awks Talk.
Yes.
We just end awkwardly.
Yeah.
Yes. Let us know if you have any more stories. If you want us to do that again, send us some stories.
Maybe
I like-
next
I
time
like
you
crime
guys can
stuff.
tell me a story.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have a lot of stories
What?
together.
What do
I'm
you
just
mean?
kidding.
Of
are you
what?
talking
Are you
about?
killing people? Like,
I know,
what's
crime.
good?
We're talking about
We're talking
crime
about
here.
crime stories.
Oh, shit. Okay, sorry.
Anyways.
You just said tell us a story, okay?
No.
We
I mean,
were
like the
talking
story-
about
Oh, crime,
She
okay.
literally said
Alright.
crime stories.
I got it. Sorry, I was out of the
mysteries,
loop, okay?
All that. Like us, subscribe, watch us on YouTube.
Happy Halloween.
We're finally looking at the camera. Like
Yeah.
It's the only time I ever look at the camera at the
I was
end.
like looking like here. Hi guys.
Happy Halloween.
You like our haircuts?
Yes,
Oh,
we
yeah, we
forgot
all
to
got
mention
haircuts.
at the beginning.
We all have haircuts.
All our
Mine's
birthdays
shorter.
passed, so we all got our hair did.
This is not this. This is my mom like just like chopping in the bathroom.
It counts, whatever.
I don't know if you can really see my hair. I look
Well, it's
I look
short.
like a buzz cut. Like I got a buzz cut on camera.
You could see the top there.
Yes.
Jessica dyed her hair purple. You can't see because the light's purple.
Yeah, long story.
We should change the light, actually.
No, stop. We're done. Okay.
Well, maybe
Yes,
you
at the
wanna
Awks
see this.
Talk. On everything.
Yeah.
Awkstalk@gmail.com.
Send us
Yes.
questions.
Everything. We'll do another Q&A if you like.
Yeah.
Send us questions, anything. Sorry I didn't answer many of the questions last time. I just think that's why I can't think. I can't think of like any favorite stuff or like anything really specific.
Also, I was telling
just suck
you,
at-
like, you should read all the questions first. It's like me and Melissa, we just.
Yeah, but
we're
then
good.
Even
where's
so,
the
I still don't know what-
spontaneity?
I'm just saying for Jess.
Yeah.
So she's
Anyways,
prepped.
Maybe. That's why I chose different questions. Okay, anyways.
She saw some of the questions. She still didn't know what to say.
Exactly, as I said, I'm like, I told you I wasn't going to know any of them.
It's fine. Did someone call you out though? Someone said just go into the questions.
No, no one cares enough.
Sad.
Okay, bye.
You're listening to the Awks Talk
Awks Talk.
Awks Talk
podcast.